asking for something good. You're saying, God, I just want to win friends for you is what you're doing. I know what's most valuable to you, and I've made it what's most valuable to me. That's winning souls for you, friends, vindicating your holy name. That's what I want to do. I'm a selfish man. I'm a selfish woman. And I'm doing this very deliberatively because being unselfish is the most selfish thing I can do. This will bring me personally the greatest happiness and satisfaction and gratification for now and through eternity. When it comes to the question we all have not only a right to ask, but a responsibility to ask, and that is, whose planet is this anyhow? I believe this is a fair question, requiring each of us to decide for ourselves, and that what we decide to believe actually holds water when held up to the light of truth. Just remember, it isn't God's fault that the planet's inherent wealth isn't being shared fairly. God isn't the one withholding what is rightfully yours, mine, and everyone else's. The absolute freedom from birth, which is the unwavering understanding that we were all born unthinkably rich. Right, which has nothing to do with money. Nothing to do with money. You understand? We've conflated it because we've been trained to conflate prosperity with money. But money is nothing. It has no intrinsic value. Okay, these people that the money printing class can literally buy up all the planet's commodities, assets, and everything else. The most valuable one being the labor class. That's every nation's single greatest asset, according to the greatest economist that ever lived, Adam Smith, in his book, The Wealth of Nations, points that out. And what's a mountain of capitals do you no good? Everything you have came from labor, often common, uneducated labor. And we're going to diminish the worth of these people. We're going to marginalize them. We're going to subjugate these people. Well, I tell you, we have. And it's absurd. And it's evil. And, we're going to be born free. Someday that's going to be the paradigm. When God's will is established on earth, which is right around the corner, my friends, it's going to be a whole different scene. We got more and more people calling for a basic universal income. And that's a beautiful thing. Multi-billionaires coming out in droves, and everybody's talking about it, saying, why? Why would you make somebody suffer unnecessarily? I mean, what kind of a pissant plantation owner mentality are you embracing there? This planet belongs to me from birth. I have a right and a responsibility to make sure you know that under no uncertain terms, and everybody else does too. Everybody's got to put their 2 cents in here. It's a thus saith the Lord thing. It has nothing to do with politics, economics, or anything else, social status. Look, it is what it is, man. We need to be set free, and if you're not financially free, you're not free. Stop being stupid. Stop being disingenuous, and stop being elitist. Stop being hypocrites. It's very simple. A child can understand the same things you want for yourself and your family, your loved ones, your friends, whoever. Then you must, there's no equivocation. You can't, well, I could if I want to. No. If you want to go to a better world and be found worthy and deserving of it, then you have to want the same things for other people that you want for yourself. It's cut and dried. It's very simple to understand. Everybody wants the same basic things. We have one whole hell of a lot more in common than out of common, contrary to popular belief of what you've been trained to believe, right? That no, we can't help. We got all these divisions and we can't help it. The problems are overwhelming. All this. Oh no, it's just going to stay like this, helter skelter in perpetuity, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. So why don't you just go kill yourself, save the planet anyhow at the same time? I mean, that's the prevailing spirit. Prevailing spirit is just evil and bleh. You're just another warm body. I mean, what do you think highly? You don't think highly of yourself, godlike creature and all this stuff. And you have a right and a responsibility to demand economic justice on the earth and ask, whose planet is this anyhow? Well, you damn right, you better ask those questions. God's counting on you. You say you're his friend. You say you're his bond servant. You're his willing servant of your own free will and accord. Prove it. Talk is cheap. Faith without works is dead. Prove it. Talk, speak. Speaking is doing something. That's proving it, that you believe it. You stand up for your beliefs. your credos, your philosophies, and who gave them to you? God gave you the brain. He gave you the desire, the yearning to have integrity and honor, to value your soul and your conscience. Do we not all immediately resent bank robbers for the injustice they engaged in as thieves, even though they likely got away with less than $100,000? Consider then how we should feel about the bankster money printing class in cahoots with the political rubber stampers for stealing not only all the wealth of our nation today, but for untold generations well into the future. Yeah. How should we feel about the '08 bailout? You talk about bank robbers? Oh my God. And most people have no idea, but it's up to you to educate them once you've been educated. We all know the reason people seek, quote, higher education from colleges and universities is not so much the wherewithal to actually learn anything and everything one seeks to learn, as such knowledge can be found for an extremely nominal fee on the internet or completely free from the public library with internet. Rather, the reason people seek colleges and universities in order to have it on the record is that they learn such and such. And their learning in colleges and university is limited to what is deemed true, false, valuable, or worthless, and based upon a minimal criteria, so the average lazy student can pass their exams. The accumulated information of the ages is at our fingertips. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is that so many people get a higher education. It's not that they can't get it for free from the library, okay, or online and using the internet online. You can learn anything you want, okay? The accumulated knowledge of the ages is at your fingertips. We all know why people do it. They want that certificate. They want those acronyms behind their name. They want that piece of paper, that degree, so that they can get a good job and make a lot of money. We all know that. I mean, how few people are really doing what they want to do with their lives, but they're letting their desire, their love for money control what they decide to do with their lives? I mean, this ought not be the case, but it is. Perfect irony. Turns out that pleasing ourselves doesn't please us nearly as much as pleasing others. Certainly, key social, political, and economic public information machinery is key to controlling the masses. For example, those in positions in the employ of mainstream media must be pacified financially and paid enough to afford a middle-class lifestyle in order to keep them willing participants in the establishmentarian scheme to destroy the masses financially. Therefore, the mainstream media, it becomes an essential cog in the overall propaganda machine, so as to continue on a path of apathy, confusion, capitulation, death, and destruction. Another example of the power of a critical mass, even a tiny one, in the right place. Right, I mean, these people that are running the show, they're scientific in their approach at controlling us. They know just what they're doing. They realize that all they need is a critical mass in the right positions in society to keep this train a-chugging on this track of death and destruction. That's it, man. They know what they're doing. Due to my aversion to stinky things and having to wipe my behind, it has occurred to me that the perfect body simply evaporates everything we consume from our skin in a fragrant aroma. Yeah, you can consider for yourself what a perfect body would be like. You know, the scriptures leave plenty of room for our imagination. God wants us to use our power of imagination. That's why he gave us this power of thought, power of imagination. What would it be like for you? What things would you add to a perfect world? What things would you remove from a perfect world? It's not hard for us to figure out. Every one of us, every one of our translations and interpretations of the teachings of Christ are valid, as long as you seek the highest understanding of what you're reading. So if there's any confusion, any seeming contradictions, then always seek the highest translation, the highest definition, understanding of what you're reading. Seek the spirit of what you're reading, and not the spirit of what you're reading, and not the letter. So it's like, avoid the letter of the law, but you're after the